Once upon a time,
I'm still petitioning the State Department, but I think they have me on their enemy radicals list, so.
their paths didn't cross all that much. Well, until they did. In season 4, Bobby's wife, Karen, tragically gets into a car accident and dies. Bobby's absolutely torn apart by this, and we see it up close and personal.
I should have known. I should have known you needed me.
Janice is just blown away.
You know what I heard one time? Sil was on the phone. He was talking with somebody about how Bobby was the only one of them who doesn't have a commodity.
I don't care anymore. That's the problem. I don't care if I live or die.
But he really was in a dark place.
Bobby was home?
Why?
You're supposed to be taking care of something for me, that's why.
Speak the truth, Jan, but with the compassion and respect that you're famous for.
All your effort, all the years you put in getting your ticket punched, you'll be a nobody.
So how exactly does Janice pull this off, this whole getting Bobby Baccalieri thing? Well, smothers him and his kids with attention.
Does smell good, doesn't it? Oh, no, kids. I'm the one barging in. You go right in there.
Neutralizes other threats.
How is Michael Jr. doing on the Ritalin, Joe? The way they medicate kids today, it's the answer for everything.
And further manipulates him by scaring his kids. But hey, it works. There's this one moment where Bobby's feeling really sad, and he tells Janice that it was the day of his anniversary with Karen. And Janice first says,
I wish you would have told me about it before I picked up the steaks from Outback. Besides alone, we're over $30.
and then moments later says,
I know. I lost both my parents. It's very easy for people to give facile advice. Suck it up, move on, etc. I'm not going to tell you that. Grieving is a process. Sometimes courage isn't a value.
and we see again shortly after that, she's back to being callous about it.
It's never ending. This dispute with the bills is morbid clinging. But this is exactly what I mean. We have a nice evening, and we end up talking about your dead wife.
In order to get Bobby to see things her way, she makes up a random screen name and goes online and starts chatting with Bobby's son and freaking him out by talking about the Ouija board and messing with the kids' heads. They're pretty vulnerable, having just recently lost their mother.
I had to read to Sophia for like an hour. She couldn't even handle a Nancy Drew. It was too mysterious.
Junior's not too pleased for what it's worth.
You to hold my hand.
Sweet sausage in little pieces and a layer of basil leaves right underneath the cheese. That's Camilla's lasagna.
You always think the worst of everybody, Junior.
Oh, fine. Enjoy your lasagna. Just don't come running to me.
I got you, baby.
Bobby.
Between seasons 4 and 5, Bobby and Janice get married. I sort of wish we could have seen their wedding. So we start off season 5, and Janice has moved into the Baccalieri home.
I called you almost an hour ago. Where the hell have you been?
If anyone cares, I'll be upstairs lying down.
Janice's ongoing emotional issues, including her depression, anger, and reluctance to make more of an effort in helping with Junior or the house in general, takes its toll.
He came by to see me the other day.
So we discuss his career. I'm his wife. Sometimes he needs a push. Don't tell me to shut up.
You know that Soprano temper. For what it's worth, she was being really nasty, but of course, Janice was the attacker, so that's what showed up on TV.
Janice, I like a Spitfire type. I told you. But we can't live like this, man.
My house, it was dog eat dog.
Well, be that as it may, the past and all, if you don't go to these anger classes they have or whatever, this with us ain't gonna work out.
Now, Janice seems to be actually making progress with anger management, though Tony nips that in the bud.
Wonder where Harpo's eating his Sunday dinner.
What? Who's Harpo?
That's Hal, Janice's son.
You have a son?
You didn't tell us that.
I wonder what's French Canadian for. I grew up without a mother. Sacre bleu! Where is me mama?
We open to season 6, and there's a new family member, Nika Baccalieri, short for Domenica. Just like we don't see them get married, we also don't see Janice pregnant, but we do see them together right away in the opening montage of season 6.
He directs the film of your life from conception to death.
I I swear to God, I'm throwing all this shit right in the garbage.
It's my hobby, Janice. Why you gotta belittle it?
You didn't have to wear your fucking hat. Marrying the boss's sister, usually it's a step up. But you keep your goddamn foot on our necks. You punish Bobby because he's my husband.
Do you think Bobby would have been better off without Janice? Well, let's assume that if Janice hadn't swooped in, JoJo and Bobby get to know each other more and they start dating. How would that work? It's impossible to say for sure because it didn't happen. But the one thing that gives me pause is the fact that, okay, obviously JoJo's on her best behavior here and being very sweet and kind, just like Janice is acting toward Bobby and his kids. But would that have lasted? If we think back to JoJo's scenes with Mikey P in season 1, she wasn't all that warm and friendly, though neither was Mikey. It's also been over 3 years since then, so she may have done a lot of growing and reflecting too. And maybe she wants someone in her life who's not like Mikey P.
Second prize in a beauty contest, collect $10. Go ahead, make your stupid joke.
Sopranos. You go too far.
In Soprano home movies, Tony's jokes go over the line as far as Bobby's concerned, so he punches Tony and they get into a little brawl. Nobody's seriously hurt, but Tony's ego sure is, and we know that he ends up making Bobby do his first kill after this. But luckily for Bobby, he had Janice there to remind him what he had to deal with, just like she reminded him when it came to doing the favor for Uncle Junior shortly after Karen died.
So you're gonna get up tomorrow morning, and you're gonna get dressed, and you're gonna get in that car, and you're gonna do what needs to be done, aren't you?
Where are you going?
Business, Jan.
Now?
Yeah.
You're gonna go do what needs to be done. Bobby follows these words of advice again when it's Tony who needs Bobby to take care of something. Janice doesn't like it so much this time around.
What?
I've seen that sitting in the chair thing.
Come on. People sit in chairs.
Shortly before Bobby dies, Janice asks Tony for help paying for Junior's continued institutionalization, and she tells him that Bobby feels badly for Junior.
We don't have that kind of money. We contribute. Bobby feels,
That really pisses Tony off, and he gives Janice a piece of his mind about her husband.
And as for your husband, Janice, exile on Main Street.
Second sold and second one off.
Don't say that.
You trust the guy, you bring him along. And for what? They feel sorry for Junior?
And shortly after that, Bobby's killed.
Oh my God. Why?
In the words of Junior, what a fucking blow. Anyway, what do you think about Janice and Bobby as a couple? Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this latest video on Janice and Bobby. What do you think about them? I'd love to hear from you.